Hello and welcome to my podcast, Conversations with Cornelius, where I, Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan, discuss, chat and hypothesize on all things from fatherhood, marriage, comedy and everything else in between. From time to time, there will be special guests, but mostly it's going to be me and some regular contributors, including my main squeeze, Noelle Patricia O'Sullivan, aka the wife. So sit back, relax and enjoy Conversations with Cornelius. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Conversations with Cornelius. I'm your host, Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan, and you're very welcome to another episode of Conversations with Cornelius, guys. This is episode 150 something.
56, I was going to say.
Is it 156? We'll never know. Well, maybe we will.
You could probably know if you checked it out.
I'm trying to turn on my computer here, but it's...
Technology not working for you. Big shock there, Con.
What number did you say it was? Because I'm on here
156.
God damn you. And your unbelievable knowledge of how many podcasts we've done. This is episode 156, guys. We're in the John Hume War Room. It is Monday the 29th of January at 13:09. That's 9 minutes past 1 for those of you who do not know how to read a 24-hour clock. 13 is 1, 12, 13.
Good job, Con.
Well
done.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thanks so much. The fire has been lit and relit. It was originally made by my wife, but it went out, and that's no slur. You know, it's not. It's.
But was it originally made by you?
No, because I had to go for a poo, and I said, "Babe, you're going to have to finish this because the turtle is coming out of the shell." Did you have to bring that up on the podcast? Did you have to bring that up on the podcast? No, the people are focusing their mind on me
your shit.
Hunched over a toilet. Excreting. Thank you so much, Noelle.
Do you know what they could be thinking about is you nearly shitting yourself going up the stairs to the toilet if they wanted to.
Do you know what? To be honest now, I was trying to brush past that, but you weren't. Well, you were like, do you know what? Let's give them the full shit. Let's give them the full shit immersion experience. Put them into your pants. Touching cloth.
Oh.
Touching cloth. Touching
Reaching out. Touching cloth.
Wow, wow, wow. I need to do a poo. Would you do the fire? But then I came down and I was looking at the fire and I said, you know what? That isn't going to last pissing time. But I won't say anything because I'll only get into trouble. I'll wait for it to piss out. And what did it do? It kind of just faded.
I wasn't into it. My hands were clean. I wasn't in the cleaning the fire. I wasn't in the fire mode.
So you tried to make the fire where you have to use coal. And we don't have any gloves and we don't have any thongs.
We do have tongs.
Have we thongs?
Yeah, it's there beside the fire.
I just saw those tongs there now. I've been using my fucking hands.
Oh my God. Oh. How did you manage to sell out the Opera House at all?
I don't know because I was the Everyman I was in.
Oh yeah.
Boom! The Opera House. I'm coming for you. It's next. Sweet Connie.
Right, Con, I'll bring you back into the room now. Come back in
sorry.
for the podcast.
So it's Monday. I'm professional. I'm sitting down.
Okay.
We're in the John Hume War Room.
You said that already.
Okay, I'm trying to get back into the zone.
Okay. So, where did we leave the podcasters? You left them on Friday.
Yeah.
As we prepared for the Everyman on Saturday.
It is correct. I had a gig on Friday night in Dublin. I was in Vicar Street.
Which was brilliant.
Unfucking believable. Amazing. And the crew followed me up as well, the documentary crew.
Oh, yeah.
So we got some great footage behind the scenes. I had a lovely gig up there as well. Really great gig. And then just pretty much at half-time then I brought, once Chris came back on, took down the banner, hopped back into the Aris and down the road.
Okay, so take us from Saturday morning as you prepared for your first ever Everyman.
So I didn't have any nerves really. Didn't have any major nerves. I felt, as I said to you all week, I was like, I feel it's all about the prep, you know. It's all about making sure you have everything in place. And I felt I had everything in place. The only thing that I didn't tangibly have that I wanted was that flag. I wanted to get a Palestine flag.
Yeah.
I wanted that to be my backdrop for the show. but I had my best man on it, and he assured me that he would get it, and he did. But that was the only thing that I didn't have. So I just got up and I did spend a bit of time with Hunter in the kitchen. We cooked some eggs. We were dancing. You were getting ready. You were showering and stuff like that. And then I played some video games. I was thinking about weed, what I would do with weed that day.
Right, yeah.
You know, because I had, it's a tricky one. I dose myself with cannabis most days for just to keep anxiety at bay.
Yes,
really,
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And now that I've pretty much stopped smoking J's, though I've had one this morning already,
they're definitely gone more recreational though.
Yeah, it's 100% recreational.
The J itself,
yeah.
that the smoking effect is definitely from a recreational side now.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So and you had made me a batch of brownies, and they're quite potent. So I was like, okay, what am I going to do? So I took actually took a less than half of one, just because I wanted to be in the zone and I wanted to be present, but I also didn't want to have any fucking anxiety riddling through my body throughout the day, and it turned out to be just a beautiful dose because it just kept, I didn't even feel it almost, do you know, that kind of way. And you and I, then Samantha came in to mind the boys, and we toddled off to Cork. You drove.
Yeah, and I suppose we knew that we were going to go early, and we knew the time we were leaving, and there was no I suppose you turning around to me on Saturday morning going, babe, I'd say we want to go at about 12, and me going, oh well, Sam isn't in till 2 pets, so we can't go. You know, it was very much planned all week what way we were going to do it, what was happening,
everybody had their schedule. We were all meeting in the Everyman at 2:00. Dan, Dave and Dave Murphy and Alona and yourself and myself, and we went. And for you, I had a few jobs for you to do on the night, specific jobs on the night, but I knew that it was going to be a big deal for you because you were going to be backstage. And I remember the very first time that I was as an act backstage, that I was like getting my thrills being around. So I was like, just, you know, this is the dressing room, this is the green room, this is the toilet, this is how you get onto the backstage, this is how you can get into the audience, this is how you get back out into the auditorium, you know. And we did it a few times, and you and I then went up to the balcony because I was doing a countdown on tickets all day, and I wanted to go up to where, I suppose, the nosebleed section to see what it was like up there.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty decent, because they were the last few tickets to go. And we kind of chilled out up there. I did the sound check, we did the light check, and the staff there were lovely.
How did it feel to be the main act at that stage, that part of the whole prep?
I very comfortable.
Yeah.
Really now, I mean, it felt right.
Yeah.
It felt comfortable. I didn't feel any ego or anything like that. I felt like I felt, I can't wait for tonight.
Because it's definitely different. It has to feel different.
It is
being
definitely
the sport
different.
act versus the headline.
It is, and I love being sport act as well.
I
love it. But I could definitely get used to being the main act.
Yeah.
And I'm ready for it. I'm ready to embrace that more now as we go forward, you know. And I felt that. I felt that in my performance on the night. I mean, and we'll get onto that now in a minute, but just dealing with the staff as well, because I'm learning from who I consider to be the best, you see.
Yes, yeah.
And I watch how Chris conducts himself, you know, in these venues, and how he talks to people and how personable he is. And I'm like, that's the way I want to be, you know. I don't want fucking egos going, you know. I don't want people to go, that fella's a bollocks. You know?
You just want to be nice and polite.
I just want to be nice and polite, and I actually want to be kind of just go about it, you know, very, you know, okay, let's do the sound check. And I did the sound check, and that's another thing as well. You'd be like, sure, what is it? It's just a microphone. But you should see Chris do a sound check. He's fucking 15-20 minutes. He wants that absolutely crystal. He checks all the monitors and all that kind of carry on, and reverb and all this kind of stuff that I don't know anything about technically, but that I'm kind of picking up from him by watching and going the way something should be and whatnot. And I felt I leaned into that. I put on my Chris Kent head, we'll say, for that side of it.
Which is what you need to do.
Yeah.
You need to be. It's like it's the art is. You can't be art is grand.
Correct.
That's grand there. Now
I
I'd
was
say
always like that. I was
don't
always
want.
like that.
You kind of don't want. There's a balance between not wanting to sound like you're being pushy or like problematic and wanting it right. And then, or being art is grand. I want to be nice.
Yeah.
The nice guy, I'll just be, this is grand. And obviously, you're still going to be a nice guy, but you just want it.
Just want it done right.
Yeah.
And there's also, 600 odd people coming in, and I do want the sound to be perfect, and I do want it to be perfect for myself. And also, with me, there are parts of my set that are much louder. For example, the poem I do about my old man is it's almost shouty. You're
right, yeah.
So the microphone has to be able to take that, So, yeah, no, it was great. And then the only backdrop I had was I wanted to get the Palestinian flag as my backdrop, and I had said it to them, and I was a little bit nervous that they might go, no. Geez,
or do you know that the thing that we both agreed on this was like we thought we'd nearly be asking them for masking tape for us to go up and put it up. Yeah. Whereas it was like, oh yeah, no problem. Once they bring it in, we'll take care of that. And I think that was a big difference for you from running gigs to being the headliner.
Huge.
That team
they were there
idea.
to assist. They were there to assist me
and help.
And like we would have put it up with masking tape. They draped it properly. They went up onto the rafters, put it across an invisible line, and draped it down. And I felt, when I saw it up there, my heart filled.
Yeah, it was really cool. It really set the tone.
Well, it was the tone that I wanted to set. I was like, this is a comedy show, but fucking there's shit going on in the world, and this is what I stand for, and this is, I still have to tell jokes and live my life and try and pay my bills, but free Palestine, and let's look after those guys as best we can. Get out and march, get out and donate, get out and support in whatever way you can. And I didn't make it political or anything like that. That was literally the only thing I did.
Yeah.
Bar saying free Palestine right at the very end of the show. But
so sound check is done.
The sound check was
feeling
done.
Good.
Dave was in, and the whole show is being filmed for my special. So when I'm finished this tour, I'll be releasing my special on my YouTube channel, and
that must have added another level to it.
Not only was the show being filmed, but the documentary was still being made while we were there. And then I had Alona in, who is our official Coco Club photographer, and she's from the Ukraine, and she's like a little mouse. She's like a mouse. She's
creeping
absolutely
around.
Brilliant. Next thing you'd see a little creak in the floorboards underneath you, and there'd be Alona with a lens pointing up, taking an alternative photo shoot for you. So we had her, we had the documentary team, which is Dave, who was doing the special, and he had his sister in, and we had the other Dave in, and so there was pretty much at least one camera following me nearly all the time, but often two cameras. And he said to me, how are you about this now? Are you okay with this? You just tell me. And I was like, man, I actually don't care, because I really, once I got there, I was like, I know what's happening here. I know the steps that are going through here. And then I know when this is finished, you and I are going to go for something to eat. And then when that's finished, we're going to go back to the hotel, and you're going to get your makeup done. And I was going to go for a sauna, but I didn't, because I was like, I haven't been doing that for a while now. And I know sometimes a sauna can take a bit of energy for you. So I just chilled out, and we were having a laugh. I watched you getting your makeup. Your niece came in to do it, Alana. Shout out to Alana. And then Alana went, and I went for a shot. You went down for a coffee, and I went for a nap. And then you came back within the 45 minutes, woke me up, I went for a shower, and we both sauntered over.
It was kind of good as well. I enjoyed the little decompress myself down by myself, because a couple of people got onto me when I had it on my story that I was having a chill out down, and they were like, oh, we could have met, actually you should have come over, we were blah blah. But it was like, I suppose it was my time just to chill out and relax, because I had been trying to mind you as such. Like, that's an important part, is just making sure everything is smooth as your manager and your representation. Like, it's not about me, obviously. And on the day, well, it's not. Like, as in, this is part of the job, is making sure it all runs smoothly for you. Do you know, like
Yeah.
that's, we can celebrate afterwards, the gig being over, but at this stage of it, it's not husband and wife, it's me supporting the act that's on that night. Do you know, in a way, like,
Yeah.
it's both, because otherwise no wife is going to be okay, pet, no matter,
I
like,
know,
and obviously
yeah.
I wasn't saying it in that condescending way, but that was the vibe. It's like, okay, yeah, if that's what you want to do. I wasn't going, well, actually I want to go and do this here and now. Like, it's
Yeah.
like, what works for you in this circumstance.
Yeah,
Like,
and I think as well, we had it all planned as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It was all, like, we knew, and you're the same as me anyway. Like, even when we want to go away, we like to get to the airport an hour and a half,
Yes.
2 hours before, like,
Yes,
get in, get the
simpletons.
bags in,
Eat the sandwich.
eat the sandwich before, like, make the sandwich for the plane, eat it in the car on the way up.
yeah.
You know, and we'll get the breakfast up there anyway. Like, that's the way we are, and but it's why I was so calm, because we had all that done, and then I had the shower. Shower was amazing in the Dean, and then we sauntered over to the Everyman, and I had said to the team that I'd be there from 7. We were there 7:15.
Yeah.
And
And actually, just on that, like, I got a couple of texts, and people are like, and how's Con? Is he nervous or whatever? I've been nervous all day. I've been thinking about it all day. And I'm like, well, if you could see him now, he's probably the least nervous of the whole lot of us, because you were in it at this stage, that you knew your show. The tickets were sold. Still a few more to go at that stage. But, like, the job was done. You couldn't get on a radio. We walked past it, didn't we?
What was that?
Was that the next day? We walked past the 96. Or when we were just going to the gig, we walked past 96 FM and it was like, do you think we'd get on there now?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's when when we were coming. We went for food after the sound check over in Umney. A shout out to Umney, unbelievable halloumi cheese sticks. I mean,
Yeah.
if you've ever had a halloumi cheese stick, lads, you've never had one as nice as the ones that are in Umney on Academy Street. But it's it's the sauce,
They've a mango sauce.
a mango
dip
chili sauce.
Yeah.
And it's almost drinkable. It's like fucking believable, indescribably gorgeous. But we walked past there, and Noel, the laugh was that we'd go in there again because we'd been on there the day before.
Twice.
But I kind of knew from around 4 o'clock that it was going to sell out, because
Yeah.
there was like about 25 or 26 tickets left. And at that stage, I knew everything online was going, no one was really going to be buying online at that
Yeah.
stage anymore. But they'd just be coming in at the door. And your
The
one had
last one.
said, yeah, look, walk-ins are a massive part. So
Yeah. The day is dry.
the day is dry. So I knew that was the case, and that was real comfort to me, even though it didn't matter. And as I said to you said to me at one stage, don't be checking the tickets now all the time. And I was like, well, this is what I'm using any bit of anxiety I have. This is how I'm manifesting it. This is how I'm doing it. Like, I don't want to be pacing around the place. But then when we got back at 7 or 7:15, Alona took me away to do a kind of like a mini photo shoot before the show, and that took my mind off it. And then I got back to the dressing room, and I asked you to get me some A4 pieces of paper, because I'd left my
Yeah.
fucking copy back at the hotel. And what I normally do is I write my set out.
Yes.
I just write my set out. I just write out the format of it and write it out. And it's just this is the process, the hour before the show that I do. And this is why I feel I was so calm going on stage, because that is the one thing that a lot of people said. They said, we were nervous as fuck, and you came out and you looked like you were having a laugh. And I was having a laugh. I was totally in it. I sat down and I wrote out my set list, two full scaps. And I wrote it. I wasn't rushing. I was laughing and having jokes with G and stuff like that, and wrote it out. And then I did remember the energy healing course that I did here in the Nanonagle. I've taken a few practices from that.
I mean, like, I didn't even take the piss out of him over this. Like, this is how good I was for holding my tongue.
Yeah. And I was doing some energy healing inside there, and I was listening to some music, some of the set list that I had made. And next thing I knew, then it was kind of 7:30, 20 to 8. And Dan was getting a bit nervous.
Doors were open.
People were coming in. The playlist was playing downstairs. You could hear people downstairs. We went down to the green room, and we were having a beer down there, you, me and Dan. And the next thing then, ding dong, 10 to or 5 to, and I was like, we better go down, lads. And we went down, and then backstage, myself and Dan were like two wild animals, just pacing up and down.
Yeah, that's a
up
good
and down,
description, actually. Yeah,
just pacing up
I
and
sitting
down.
there watching them, going, "Oh Jesus, keep
Yeah.
your tongue quiet, no, keep
Yeah.
your tongue."
Yeah, and you did, and it was great. No, there was you tried to shift me a few times, and I was like, babe, no shifting. And then Dan went out, and Dan went out and absolutely tore the roof off the place. And he was on about 5 minutes, and I timed his set. He's to do 25 minutes. And I was like, okay, I'm going to watch the first 5 minutes of him, and then I'm going to go up and I'm going to do my breathing.
Yes.
And I knew that there'd be no one up there. And so I went up to, so he was on 5 minutes, and I went up in my breathing.
And he kindly requested that I stay down.
You were following me, and I was like, if you don't mind staying down, if you don't mind. And you were like, no problem. And I went up, and I just did some breathing techniques that I had, and I did some work with the energy healing techniques that I learned, or what's it called, Reiki is what they call it. And I did my affirmations to myself, you know, I'm worthy of my happiness, I feel incredibly healthy, I adore that my comedic creativity is a reason I'm abundantly wealthy, everything I touch turns to gold, my Everyman tickets are all sold, I'm lucky and grateful and busy as a bee, everything's working out perfectly for me. And about 5 to 7 minutes of just that done, and then I came down to you and I enjoyed the rest of Dan's set, and I could not wait to go on.
Yeah.
I couldn't wait to go on. And then he came off at half-time, and what was half-time like for you from your perspective?
Well, I thought it was funny because I think the three of us were kind of buzzing with how well Dan's set went down and the energy that was building in the room, and you could feel the love that was in the room. So I think the three of us decided to sit, that was unreal, well done, Dan. And he was delighted, and you were really chilled out anyway. And then the technician there was like, the sound technician was like, right, Sophie, you want to come back in about 20 minutes? 15 minutes, and it'll probably be 20 minutes then when you start. And I think the three of us said, even you were like, oh yeah, we'll go back. Oh yeah, right, okay, we'll go back there. So like it was like as if you were just so ready to go on that it was like, no, go back and take a chill, another chill. You're not going on yet. Like take a moment. But then like when that was just kind of that those minutes flew anyway, didn't they? They were just a blink of an eye, and we were back down the stairs again.
Time just threw our fingers on the night.
I think when Dan went out to call you on was just, I nearly get emotional thinking about it. It was just incredible, the rise that came from the audience. Like, there's so much there, so many people there for you, that it actually came true, because some people just stood up like with excitement to see you come out on the stage, and then to fucking be incredible on stage, and just like there was no, I knew your set was amazing anyway, so there's going to be no problem there, but it just was so smooth and so effortless, as everyone said. But it was a year, it was 18 months becoming effortless, like for it to just kind of end with, like the documentary ending with the Everyman main stage and people fucking loving every joke was incredible.
You're making me cry now.
Will I say incredible again? Because I definitely need a new adjective.
Mesmerizing.
Just
enchanting.
Funny.
Hilarious.
Just a few words you've been thinking yourself.
Humorous.
Yeah, just that you've had lying around waiting to be used.
But like that's what it was. That's that, like everything you said there. Like it was more than 18. Like it was 18 months for the show, but like it felt for me like
it was all the time.
It felt like I've had a fucking ups and downs as a comedian. I've had ups and downs. I've made great friends. I've lost friends.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
And you know, I've been thinking about this, you know, and I love everybody I've met along the way, even the people that are gone, you know, and I just got the sense that it was time to just, like with this show, it was time to if I don't try. No,
Yeah.
if I don't try now, I'll never try, you know. And I just felt it was. I just felt it was. That's why on the day I felt ready. I felt ready, and I felt excited. And when Dan brought me on, exactly what you said. Like, it was. People were standing up as I was coming on, and I was like, "What the? Not everybody now.
No,
do you know what I mean?
no. A few
maybe about
people.
15 or 20 people stood. But the volume of noise. And I've done a lot of gigs, like, you know. I mean, it was definitely a very special gig because obviously I had a lot of friends and family there as well. I'd say I probably had the guts of, you know, I'd say close to 100 friends and family.
Yeah.
If I'm calling a spade, like, you know. So, and they were the people that were the most nervous.
Yes, oh yeah.
You know? So when they heard everybody else whooping and hollering and getting into it, I think that anxiety melted for them then as well, and they were able to relax and enjoy it themselves. And I just think it kicked on from there. And like, I couldn't wait. I really, really wanted to embody the jokes, be in the bits, put myself into it, be in the performance, give the best performance I could possibly do. And I think I did that. I made one small mistake. But I know nobody saw it.
No way, yeah. No,
and I even said it to Dan afterwards. I was like, I fucked that little bit up there. And he was like, nobody fucking saw it. Shut your fucking pie hole.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, but, like, that was the only thing. If I could go, like, that was the only, it was only a small little thing. But for me, the end was like, and it made my night and fucked my night up. Right? Well, so I was doing the end, and the story is, you'll have to come to the show to see it, or wait till it goes up on YouTube. I'm not going to give it away, but like, my last joke is a sentence, and I've done this in hundreds of times, you know, but I did it. I delivered the last joke, and that's the end of the show. When I got an unbelievable reaction, and then people just started to stand up at the front, and then the middle, and then the balcony, and then before I knew it, everybody was standing, and they were fucking hollering like, and it was a wall of noise. And I took a bow. I was punch drunk, and this is why I say it fucked up my night in a way. It didn't fuck up my night. It was amazing. It made my night, because I didn't know how. I didn't.
But it was nearly out of body then. It was like
out of
floating.
Body. It was out of body. I was like, this is me. And I kind of felt I almost rushed myself off the stage. You said to me earlier on, did you want to go back on? I actually wanted to stay on.
Yeah,
I didn't want to come off at all. But
I
just didn't know how to react to this, because it was like, You're
probably a bit coy in a way, maybe, was it?
I have been visualising the Everyman being full. And I have been visualising people standing up like this, like that, and clap. I have sincerely, when I'm doing that affirmation, when I'm in bed at night time, I've been visualising what happened happening.
Yes.
And then when it happened, I wasn't able. I was finding it.
Surreal.
I was like, how is this happening? But it's happening because thoughts become things. Because we've worked tirelessly hard, because we've put the effort in, because, you know, if you like, I'm a firm believer of thoughts become things. You know, affirmations, you put it out there, you visualize it, you work towards it, you repeat processes, you write it down, you put it into a mantra. Thoughts become things. Whatever you want, you can have. But
it's not just thoughts. It's the actions that the thoughts make you do.
And then, so it starts with a thought, and then it turns into a visualization, and then you have to feel the visualization. You have to feel like you're there, and then you have to work towards it. Like, there's no point in me going, do you know what, fucking Carnegie Hall, or what, like the Empire, or what, you know, or like, I don't know, like, let's do fucking Croke Park, visualize Croke Park. So I could visualize Croke Park, right? Like, that's not going to happen tomorrow. Do you know, just because I'm visualizing it. There's loads of work that has to go into. I'll have to do 20 more tours, become a national icon, and then you might someday get a chance to do Croke Park or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's like, it was really weird, Noelle. I have to say, it was really, really weird, and it felt incredible. It felt intoxicating in a way that I've never experienced before. And we're going to finish up there now, right? I gave the line, that happened, and then I came off stage, and the sound girl was there, and she was like, oh, that was great. And it was about 20 seconds. I had about 20 seconds to myself, and there was nobody around. You were out the front, Dan was out the front, Dave was on the camera, the other Dave was on the camera, and I can't remember Dave's other assistant, his sister's name, I can't think of her. Everybody was out, and Alona was out, and I had about 20 seconds to myself. And I just felt indescribably happy.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this has been one of the most amazing experiences of my life. And I do feel, I know we're saying it's me, but I do feel that I've shared it, and I prefer to share it with you. You know.
Well, I think we are like we're both living our dream, like in a way, and like that's what we want to do now. I want to mind my kids and help you in our family business, which is your comedy and whatever else we do. But we're putting our energy into us.
Yeah.
So that we can give our boys everything they want. We can have everything we want as well. It's not just for them, you know.
And we don't want much. You know?
We can be here on a we can be here on a Monday morning. We can go for a run together on a Monday morning. But then we some evenings come in here to the office at 7 or 8 o'clock after the boys go to bed and plan what we're doing the following day. Like, it's just like running a business.
I did an 18-hour day on Friday, the day before the gig.
Yeah.
And that's a fact. I was up at 6:30 to do 2 radio interviews, and then I had to drive to Dublin. I had to do the gig in Dublin, and I had the crew with me in the car, so I was on in the car. Not only was I driving, but like there was, and you're worn from it, like. And then home, got home. I think it was around 1 o'clock or something like that. It was an 18-hour day, or half one, I think. And I remember putting up on my Instagram like 18-hour day, but loved every second of it.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the way it is, because I do know there's 2 more dates left in this tour, and then there's going to be a break in my tour because I'm doing Chris's tour support, which is invaluable to our family.
Big time.
And then I'm going to pick up my tour again then in June and finish it off probably in June, more than likely, and that'll be it then. And then I'll begin the next journey of writing the first joke for the new show.
And you'll be touring as well in July and August around the place.
I will, but that's not to be announced yet. That's a different thing now.
I know, yeah, but like that's when you'll be out and about with your new material and like cementing that, and it's work in progress again. What did we say the work in progress was? Oh, we're work in progress of ourselves now.
We're a work in progress of ourselves. Yeah, we're out.
Whips.
Living our best life. We're doing whips every time we're training. It's a whip for our 5K.
Yeah.
But look, guys, before we go, we've done the Patreon podcast already, and the Patreon podcast follows on from where we're just kicking off there now. It's from what happened directly after the show. Where did we go? Who did we meet? What happened back at the after show, at the after party back in the Roundy? What time did the whole thing finish up? What adventures we got into? And if you want to listen to that, if that's something that you're into, sign up to the Patreon. The link is in the description. It's $5 a month, which is less than the price of a pint of beer. And you have 3 years of back catalogue of stuff, including our exclusive Cornelius and the Queen podcast that we do every week. And as I said, it's $5. And it goes towards supporting us and supporting the podcast and the Patreon and all that kind of carry on. But if you don't want to, that's totally cool as well. I'm just delighted that you're listening at all. That's it. Like, subscribe, and
share.
Review and share and tell
take
everybody.
A screen, even if you take, like, ideally you copy a link in, but even if you take a screenshot listening to this today, hearing about the Everyman gig, or, just put that on your Instagram. Again, it's not about how many followers you have. It's all about the algorithms. Yeah.
And definitely tag us. That's
a
lot. I'd often see people sharing stuff and there's no tags. And I'm like, I'd love to have shared that now on my story. Because it does help. But look, if you don't want to do any of that, just keep listening. Keep listening.
Stay tuned.
And stay tuned and stay in by the wall.